Among many people who've contributed this year, we have 2 awards to celebrate some outstanding achievements. I'd like to invite board member Derek Strobel to present HECO's Apex Award.
Okay, thank you very much. And Merry Solstice, everybody. It's great you could all be here. Nonbeliever Douglas Whaley has given years of dedicated service to promoting humanist values in Central Ohio. As one of the Ohio State University's most respected law professors, Professor Whaley sharpened the thinking skills of many law students. And I just learned that includes Elizabeth Warren. As a pioneer in promoting justice and equality for the LGBT community, Douglas Whaley was one of the founders of what is now the Stonewall Community Center, and he helped organize Columbus's first Pride marches. Since his retirement, he has continued his service through his blog, his involvement in theater, and his novels. And he's recently been chosen as a board member of the Evolution Theater Company. Good name, right? And lots of good shows. So, Douglas Whaley has opened new territory with his engaging and often humorous novel, Imaginary Friend. Imaginary Friend takes place right here in Columbus, where the atheist main character, Franklin Whitehouse, rescues some people during a terrorist attack, and then while on national TV, people find out he does not have an imaginary friend, and his life goes crazy from there, which makes up the rest of the novel. Although much has been written debating questions related to religion, Douglas Whaley has used fiction to bring to life the experiences, fears, and frustrations of people living as non-believers. Even in 21st century America, people with the courage to be honest about their atheism sometimes faced hostilities. Imaginary Friend should be read by anyone who cares about religious freedom and liberty and justice for all. The Humanist Community of Central Ohio presents an Apex Award to a person who's made a difference through years of dedicated service to the secular community. This year, it is my honor to present the Humanist Community of Central Ohio's Apex Award to someone who has helped bring more facts, fairness, and love to all of our lives, Professor Douglas Whaley.
Thank you, Derek. How very nice.
You're welcome.
I am most honored to receive this award. I was listening to the audiobook, How to Think Like a Freak, by the gentleman who wrote the book, Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics and all that. And one of the chapters is how to win an argument, how to change people's minds. And they talk about all the things that don't work. And the one thing they said that does work is to tell it in the form of a complicated story that engages the reader with the life of the person who's got the difficulty. And I think that's what I have tried to do with I have 2 novels out there. I am, and I have to confess this as if it were an AA meeting, I'm a compulsive teacher, and I cannot stop myself. If you and I are at the craps table at Las Vegas and we're standing there and we're playing craps, and it's a hot table so we're all winning, and you're playing badly, and we become friends, at some point I'll say, give me 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. I'll explain why the field's a bad bet and why you should be doing odds bets. And my poor husband over there is constantly saying, Douglas, calm yourself down, stop teaching. It occurred to me that with both the gay rights things and with atheism, I have often been fueled by anger at how casually people treated us so badly on those kinds of issues. And the gay rights battles were thrilling in the early 80s. When we started Stonewall Columbus, what is now Stonewall Columbus, we had a mayor who called us homos. The congressional delegation, Chalmers Wiley, he told the national press he didn't have any gay constituents. And his district included campus and German village. I mean, he was paying no attention whatsoever. And those were very interesting days. If you're interested in what those look like, I had a heart transplant 5 years ago, and as required by law when you have a life-altering experience like that, I started a blog. And on my blog, one of the blog topics, which you can find the blog, just type in Douglas Whaley blog and it goes there. And in the search function, type in history, gay rights, and it takes you to a blog post on what we did in those days. Or there's a YouTube video called The History of Gay Rights in Columbus from a presentation I made that shows what those battles were like, but it was fueled by anger. And the same thing is true of atheism. I got very annoyed at how casually people will discriminate against atheists and how acceptable it still is in the 21st century to casually discriminate against atheists. So I decided to write a novel in which an atheist, in the beginning, he makes an idiot of himself on television. And then he spends the rest of the novel trying to combat that. And I wanted to show what atheists really would be like in a foxhole and all of that sort of thing. And I tried to do it with humor, and I wrote it as a thriller. It starts with an explosion at Ohio Stadium that kills a lot of people. That's what makes him a national hero, puts him on television. He's doing fine until one of the callers asks if God was helping him save all the people as he helped in the explosion. And he says, well, no, he didn't need an imaginary friend, and that, as I say, is the start of all of his difficulties. You can find the novel. Aren't you auctioning it off or something today, Derek?
Yes.
And it's available on Amazon, both as a book or as you can download it onto Kindle. And then I decided the same thing needed to be done with the issue of homosexuality. Big strides are being made there. But nonetheless, there are a lot of people who still are willing to condemn it. So I wrote a prequel, actually. It includes one of the characters, an imaginary friend, in a prequel. And this one's called Corbin Milk, and it's the story of a gay CIA agent. It occurred to me that heterosexuals will be very sensitive to heterosexual attractions, even in places like church. But they won't see what gays are doing. And gays are below the radar. And I thought, boy, if you were in the CIA, you could really use that. So I decided to write a novel about that, but the whole purpose of this thriller, called Corbin Milk, was to talk about what homosexuality is all about, and Corbin's doing real well with his using his sexual prowess for the United States government. Until the complication is he falls in love, and his new partner is not at all interested in that occupation continuing, and it causes various difficulties. In any event, it is an enormous thrill to get this award, and I thank all of you for doing it. This is a terrific organization, and I've been a member now for a couple of years. And the very first book reading I did out of Corbin Milk is one Derek helped organize through this group, and the novel took off from there, so I'm very pleased. If you read the novel and you like it, please put a review on Amazon. That really helps. If you didn't like it, keep your opinion to yourself. Thank you all.